Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the vlog. So, I really didn't put a whole lot out for last week only because the weekend before we went across the border to Canada to have a little bit of fun and downtime. And I didn't get a chance to really meal prep a whole lot. But I'm going to talk about what I did cook this week. Even though I did not film any of it. So, I'm a stickler for beef. I love beef. And for some reason, beef feels like it just really fills me up. Now, I can eat chicken, I can eat fish, I can eat pork, I can eat, all these other different types of meat. But for some reason, beef just really do it for me. So, with that being said, like I said, I cooked some ground beef. I cooked some chicken breast. I have some leftover pork chops. I did my rice mixture. I have some beets that I got from Costco that are really good. I have yogurt and I have some berries. So even with my best efforts in meal prepping and all that, sometimes things get a little wonky for me, and I don't know why. So I decided I'm just going to write out kind of a meal plan for myself. And my refrigerator is kind of full, but I'm going to kind of already have my meals in a bowl or a little container already just ready to go and grab. So let me just talk about what today is more than likely going to look like. I have a little notebook here written down for Saturday. So for the first meal of the day, and I meal prep some more of my eggs. I have actually been liking, to my surprise, the eggs with tofu in it. And I think it's pico de gallo, a little Mexican spice. It is delicious, and I put it in the oven. So I do like 2 whole eggs and maybe like a cup and a half or more of egg whites. And it's really good. Sometimes I add a sprinkling of cheese, not a whole lot, and sometimes I don't. It's just a really good go-to dish. And if you've been watching me forever, you know how sometimes I can just be a creature of habit and eat the same thing for weeks. So this might be week number 2, maybe, or 2 probably, of the egg dish because I really, really like it. And I will always prepare it with some coffee with a protein in it, with a protein shake in it. So I really want to keep my protein up, 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 up. So back to the meal plan that I have written down. For my breakfast will be the eggs, and my coffee will be the protein coffee. The next meal will be, I'm calling it rice, but it's my cauliflower rice mixed with a little bit of rice. I'm just going to say rice, but you guys will know when I say rice, it's 80% cauliflower rice, or riced cauliflower and broccoli with a little bit of rice. But for just to not keep saying a whole bunch of words, I'm just going to say rice. So I will have my rice with some chicken breast. Then I will have my ground beef and some beets. And I can end the day with some yogurt and strawberries. That is the plan for today, to stay on track. And for the record, I have already went to work out and all that good stuff. Just because I want to keep it 100 and transparent, I'm not doing my walking right now, only because my ankle is kind of acting up. It is, for some reason, a little bit sore. I don't recall doing anything to it, but I do have an impingement in both ankles, and from time to time that does flare up. So the only thing that I can do for that is, and it's not weight related. I talked about this before. If you're an OG person, you will remember the whole ankle debacle from years ago. But it's rest and icing it, and I'm putting some anti-inflammatory cream on it. I'm drinking lots of water, and I'm walking still, but I'm not exercise walking, like trying to get in so many steps or at the gym, really pushing myself with the feet and doing the treadmill. But the other things, exercises, I am doing right now. So that's there, just to be transparent about that. And the only other option I have with my ankle, because it doesn't act up like this a whole lot, like, so the last time my ankle kind of acted up, it's been over a year and a half, excluding when I fell and, fractured my ankle. But it was been a year and a half to almost 2 years. So is the other option is to clear it up is surgery. And to be honest, at my age, and I would not want to have that kind of surgery. The healing process is quite extensive because they do one ankle at a time. So yeah, I mean, if I had to and it was something constant all the time, yes. But given how sporadic it's been, like years in between, I'm not going to really do anything at this moment as far as surgery, which I really don't want to go down that road. I'm trying to think of all the updates. That's about it. Today, it is not the brightest, sunniest day. So switching gears over into my mental health update. I've been kind of okay, been pretty okay. If you've been following me, again, I say this so much, you kind of know my history when it comes to the whole mental health and me being in Seattle. I will say Seattle is not the best place for you if you have mental health issues because of how dark, how gray, how gloomy it is. I'm going to say 80% of the time. Now, is it a beautiful place? God, yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful and green and lush, but at the same time, it comes with a heavy price of being, just what it is, gray and overcast a whole lot. And that's not a vibe for me. It's not good for my body. Now, with that being said, when I first moved to the state of Washington I want to say I moved in 2002. Yeah, 2002. I was the first 6-7 years I was actually fine. Then something happened. I don't know what with my body. And it could too be menopause. When I hit menopause, I noticed it got exceedingly worse. With the gray and my body just not being able to tolerate it, just not being happy. My mood just tanks. I get depressed. I get anxious. I don't want to say I become lazy. I get unenthusiastic about every single thing. Everything. Nothing excites me. Nothing brings me joy. So yes, I'm retired, but it's hard to travel right now. My spouse is still working. I'm actually thinking, I'm trying to plan this out because we do have a dog. And that's another kind of an issue with my dog being elderly and having his own issues starting right now. My thought was I was going to go stay in California most of the time, but my puppy, my poor little doggy, is, like I said, having some issues. He's 13, 14 years old, and long road trips is not the thing because there would be no way I would crate him to get on an airplane to go to California. He's never been crated. He doesn't like it. He's had the experience of having to be in one. It was bad for him. So that's another thing. And and this sounds really bad, and I don't even like thinking about it. We don't know how much longer we have with him. I'm not saying it's terminal. He's like down the hill, but I'm going to just say within the last 3 weeks, he's declined immensely from where he was before. And, we went to the doctor, spent quite a bit of money, over $800 some, got a lot of lab work, a lot of x-rays, a lot of scans, and what they found was he did have arthritis in his spine, and he does have some hip issues. But I have another wellness appointment with them. I'm going to discuss just, I don't know, it just seems off to me that the way he's declined in the last 3 weeks. Yes, he's older. It was almost like all of a sudden. That's, I guess, if it was something gradually happening, I could, you know, it would make more sense. But for us, even discussing it with my spouse, it was just like, boom, all of a sudden, a change. So that's the scary part about all of this. And yeah, he has his medications, and we are, you know, getting him the help he needs with the doctor and all that. And that's another discussion, like I said, with the doctor, is how quickly things went kind of south with him. So that's kind of an update there. But if it wasn't for my little pups, I probably would not be in Seattle right now. I would be in California with my daughter and granddaughter because I crave warm. And if I'm being honest, because my retirement didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, it was kind of almost a forced retirement, and I'll get into that another video. I had always dreamed of retiring, and then the next day hopping on a plane, just going to different places, what I would call myself just sun seeking. Wherever there were places it was sun and hot, I would go there, stay for a while, start looking for the next place. Where is it nice and warm and beautiful? Jet there for a while. And that's how I kind of saw my life going. And, you know, life happens and you have to adapt. And I'm doing my best to adapt the best I can to my circumstances. And with me saying that, I understand there are a lot of people that have it way worse than me. So yes, am I grateful? I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. But, you know, sometimes when you have in your head a plan and it doesn't go that way, it's, you know, it can be a little bit depressing, you know, to not have your plans go the way you want. Even when they don't go the way you want, you're still okay. You know, it's just that you want things to be a certain way and they're not. But that's kind of my little update for right now. So we're going to go into our meals, and yeah, just kind of go from there and talk about the meals. But I've already explained it, but I'm going to show it to you guys. So one moment. Okay, let's just start here. This right here is my protein coffee and my egg dish. It looks a little crumbled, but it's still delicious. This is my cauliflower rice mix, and under there is some chicken. And right here is my yogurt. I don't know if you can see it. I cut some strawberries up in there. So that's my yogurt. And I will have one more container of these, but I just didn't want to pull out another container. With my ground beef and my beets. So yeah, this is what my meal for today is going to look like. Noting that I don't have my ground beef and the beets showing. And that's going to be all for this Saturday. I do hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And if you're meal prepping, put down below what you're meal prepping. And I will be back next week.